Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Casey and today I'm going to be creating a sim for my Not So Berry legacy family. I basically decided to give it a try after watching Claire Siobhan do it for over a year now and seeing her almost complete it made me want to give it a try. Not So Berry is basically a 10 generation legacy challenge and it makes you play with aspects of the game that you never thought of using, traits you never thought of using, careers you never thought of playing with, and worlds you never thought of living in. Also, I like to thank Little Cindy who came up with this idea back in 2017. So I'm going to be using the starting sim I got at the start of the video and make her unique for the sim I see in my own vision. I already thought about her name and it's going to be Araminta. How I came up with this name is that I looked up different mid-themed names, and Araminta stood out the most. For her last name, I couldn't think of it, so I decided to randomize it a couple times and see where it goes. But I went with the last name Gates. Now let's remember that she needs to start off as a young adult with three predetermined traits, which are vegetarian, jealousy, and materialistic. She also needs to have the Chief of Mischief aspiration, which she needs to master. I'm also going to be adding more traits to her once we start playing so we can see more of her personality come out. When I decided to start this challenge, I already thought about how it might go and if I'll continue it, but over the last 2 years I realized that I should do what makes me happy, and if playing Sims and sharing my bad editing skills with you guys and with YouTube makes me happy, then I'm going to do it. And I also feel like YouTube is a great escape from reality, and it shows that in our society today, a little escape from the real world can't be so bad. And I also think of it as a way to create my own world where I can control what happens and how things go, cause drama, break Sims apart, and make them go down different paths of love. Anyways, I try to keep to the main theme as much as possible, and finding a hair that I liked was hard. I think I went with an Anto hair. I really can't remember. But there are very few creators that make mint-colored hair and clothing, and don't get me started with clothing. Finding mint or green blue colored clothing was harder than I thought, even with all the CC I have. But I think even though I started to make her, that I decided even though I can't have mint colored everything, I would do a little bit of mint in her style, whether it be her hair, her clothing, nails, jewelry, and her shoes. That as long as I included it, it'll be okay. But now I want to give you a little bit of background on her. Araminta grew up in the city to a single mother who lives paycheck to paycheck to make ends meet. She also was the top of her class and aced all of her science classes as she wanted to be a mad scientist and a prankster at the same time. She loved joking around with her friends and family and making the best of things, even though things were rough at home. She started university when she was a young adult or teenager, around 16 is what I determined her to be, and got an internship at Simish Labs and eventually got to move to a nearby town to take on a full-time position there. All her money goes to buying the best of the best for her family that she hopes to have, and she loves spending all her time with her friends and family. As you can see here that I was having a hard time matching with her hair and makeup to everything. And I think for her formal, I decided to go with a long dress, but I don't know if that's right or not. But I do have this idea of her being married a couple of times and trying to make a big happy family that she never got. And she wants to have a lavish lifestyle as well. That even though she loves her lavish lifestyle, she goes as far as streaming herself at home when she's messing with experiments that she shouldn't be doing. But I want to see where that goes, whether or not that part of the story takes off. But I think I do go back to one of those dresses I've put on her before that has puffy sleeves and it goes with to her knees. I think I found that in a minty color and I really liked it the most. And I think I went back and changed her hair to a 50s style. But yeah, I really do think I go back to that point. But go back to her story. I would also like for her to have a couple kids, maybe three, a set of twins, hopefully a set of twins, because I like the idea of it causing more drama. And it would also help to play for the next generation that I have in mind, where they're supposed to be like left alone. They're supposed to like not be close to their parents and have like this distance relationship with them. But I want to see where that goes as well. And even though she's too busy for work and raising her other children, it makes her firstborn child have a harder time with connecting with their family. Now, I also think that her minty obsession will affect how she lives and how she designs her dream home because she has an infatuation with this color and how everything needs to be the specific shade of blue and how even her work uniform has to include it in some way, which I have a CC outfit for it. I just need to add it to my game. But I also have this idea of her living in starting off in like a small home where she's able to like work on her skills at a faster pace, so that way she could get through her career quicker and eventually move to Oasis Springs. So that way she could start looking for rare elements as she needs to collect them for part of her legacy challenge and part of her generation. But I also want this idea of her marrying for money while she's young, but finds true love after she reaches the top of her career. And she marries them because she truly loves them, not just for themselves, but and not for their money, but having a true connection. But then she also loves the pulling pranks on her friend, on her family, even her husband. But going back to her outfit, I think for her party wear, I went a little bit more modern with it and away from like the minty blue green aspect of it because I feel like for her party wear, even though she loves the color, just her hair being minty green is enough for her because she doesn't want people to know how infatuated with how she is with the color, and that even her house, she really doesn't invite her friends over because she would see them as seeing it as an unhealthy obsession. But I think this top I'm gonna choose is also like a minty color. If not, I know I keep her shoes and nails that minty blue color. And even finding a French manicure with deep like in-game nails is a really good aspect that I loved because ooh, I remember now. I even made her makeup kind of minty, which kind of looks good. But I also want to talk about how often I'm gonna upload on this channel because right now I'm hoping for 3 to 4 times a week as I also have a full-time job, and if this takes up quicker than I hope, maybe I'll post more depending on how long I want to film for. But I also want to give you guys as much content as possible. If not, I do plan on streaming on Twitch pretty soon underneath the same name as my YouTube. And I think that's all for today. But also want to remind you guys to hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!